You see, security is the most bastardized word. I mean word, the most bastardized in our society. People talk about security, and yet they are talking about something else altogether. Mostly, my opinion shows that they are talking about safety. Safety is part of security, but that is not the core of the matter. So let us ask ourselves in these preambles, let's have a general discussion. Because me, I'm very particular about definition. Because if you don't define a word very well, you are going to have problem with how to apply it. So, what is security? If you look at Mark Namara's work, if you look at Professor Yakub, I think he's the INEC chairman or something like that now. You look at the work of Professor Imobige, you will find out that academically, the meaning of security is development. And what is development? Development is economic growth plus modernization of the society. Coming down to Imobige's work, you get the impression that it's even a resource management project. A resource management project. We are still talking about security. But again, let us come down to the bottom of the matter. Because security means different things to different people. For example, security to a banker is collateralization. You want to borrow 1 million, you have to bring something that is worth like 2 million. So that in case you fail, they will have something to fall back on. That is to a banker, that's security. For a big man like Buhari, like Yaya Bello, like one big person, what is security to him in his house? High fence, people at the gate, armed and all that. That is security of that particular compound. But again, security to a nation, a state like Nigeria, is economic growth plus modernization. Have I mentioned any joint task force since I've started talking? I think I've talked like for 5 minutes. I've not said any gun, this one, than that, the patrol. That's not security. It's part of it. But it takes care of the consequences of lack of security. Adhering to the real meaning of security. Are you with me? So, security to a nation is economic growth plus the modernization of that society. You see how dynamic that could be. Now, to a region like West Africa, like South Africa or Southern Africa, because as a country, you just say South Africa, but there are other nations, Namibia and all that, attached to South Africa. So you say Southern Africa. They have that type of collectivity. In West Africa, we have that type of, and we have the arms group, enforcement group of that particular arrangement, and the economic group. So you have ECOMOG. If there is a problem, you send in ECOMOG to take care of all that. If for trade and all that, you are talking of ECOWAS, Economic Community of West Africa, or West African states. That is security to West Africa. It's collectivity coming together. Because if, for example, you want to take care of one thing, you now come together. This one comes with economy of scale. You bring this, you bring that. There is a coup in Ghana, and we can't accept it. Well, do you have all the aircraft to fight the war? So Ghana will bring some jets. Nigeria will carry their Super Tucano that they have gotten now, they are very gallant. Our troops are gallant. I can tell you that anytime. Pack, so like that. Then other people will come with their own and join our collectivity. So security to a region is collectivity. Then you ask me, what's security to the world? That is called globalization. And there you start seeing UN, United Nations. Then you have their arms, UNESCO, you need MOG, you need that, you need that. So you can see what security is to different people, to a nation. So security to a nation, like Nigeria, coming back home, it's not the issue of just patrol on the streets, because the lack of security is what leads, because lack of education, lack of food, lack of all this, you say food security, and we're actually tautologizing because it's part of it. My old teacher will tell you that you are hocus pocus, or you are tautologizing, or you are circumlocuting. All those kind of things that you are just repeating yourself, unnecessary repetition. Now, security, like I've said, is about educating the people, educate the masses. Let there be food security. Then you start, once you have all this on ground, forget about, educate the younger ones coming. People like us now, what do I need a big car for? Big house. I just need one room, one bed. It should be comfortable, that's all. When you are like 60, 70, you are stealing, you are cursed. Because you are actually destroying the next generation. Because you are on your way out. And you are not doing anything the way those before you did to keep the place nice for you to enter. So that's about that. So we are saying now that at the end of the day, if you are busy thinking that once there is an uprising here, you send soldiers, you send police, you send this, when will that stop? It's a magical thing now. When will it stop? Can you tell me now? We finish. Look, let me tell you, the fight ECOMOG was very successful. We have now entered insurgency. Somebody is blaming government, it's not doing that. Government, you go to that place, go and fight now. This is somebody that can be living next door. He has his gun in his house. He just wakes up, he go and fire some people, kill some people. He's living next door to you. He's not, he's just to sabotage everything so that government will be recording bad impression among the people, so that government will become unpopular. That's what we are facing now. Guerrilla warfare. All those kind of things. You cannot say a fight against Boko Haram was not successful. In fact, too excellent. But consequential, so the fight itself is insurgency. Because the people are saying we have to now win the hearts of the people, so that there will be peace in the minds of everybody. Meanwhile, you must go back to the real meaning of security. Like I told you, the real meaning is grow the economy and modernize the society. Without that, you are wasting your time. This war can last the next 1,000 years. You see, when you discuss security and you are attaching it to specifics, you will see yourself, like I told you, circumlocuting. You will be repeating yourself. Because it's like as simple as that, but most difficult thing you can ever think of. Now, coming down to Niger State, first of all, northeast. Even the south-south, southwest, southeast, we have peace there. Is it not all this militancy, menene, all over the place? North central, are we resting? Northwest, are we resting? But ask yourself, is there justice? So what is justice? Even in the courtroom, what is justice? Justice, according to Justice Okuta, may so rest in peace, he said justice has 3 legs. It's fairness to the prosecution, it's fairness to the defense, and it's fairness to the bench. You say because you are a nice judge, somebody stole, and you say you should go. Are you being fair? You are fair to the person. What of the society? Are you fair? You are building up criminals. That's all you are succeeding in doing. You must punish the person, even if it's for to prevent other people from doing the same thing, and from him not also to go back to that behavior. No. So if I should ask you now, as somebody interviewing me, is there security in our society? I mean, is there justice in our society? When somebody sits down somewhere, he is put in charge of our commonwealth. Then he starts filling his pockets. I'm talking generally now, not in reference to anybody. We are so selfish, so corrupt, and we don't fear God. Because if you are put in charge of something, does not mean that that thing belongs to you. You are just there to take care of the people that put you there. And I continue to ask myself, before I still go to Niger State, I'm asking myself that in the absence of Buhari, after Buhari, let anybody say anything. Me, I'm so attached to that man. I so believe in him that you can talk from today till the kingdom come. You cannot convince me, because I want you to show me in Abuja where his mansions are. Just that question. I'll give you 1 million naira, as even in this my poverty. Go and show me where he has swimming pool, everything. Even a local government chairman is building, maybe he even has a jet. We don't know. But this is a man who is working for everybody, not himself. So coming back to our own locality, all this Kogi State, Niger State, and all this, even combined Northeast and all the rest of them. Even the Almajiri system, for example. I'm just taking things one by one now. Is that the way it should be done? If you want to do that, don't put children just sitting on the ground doing all that. Try to modernize it, because I already mentioned as meaning of security, modernization. Yeah, we started from somewhere sitting on the ground. Me, I carry a load for my leg. But now I want to sit on a chair. I want to see there is your type of equipment, so that I can make reference. Because the problem with the type of education we are having here, or the British gave to us, we're taught to remember things. The more you can remember, then you are a first-class student. The less you can remember, you belong to the past group or third class. But no, you are supposed to learn how to think. You understand? Not how to remember. Yes, remember, but you must know how to think. Because what must come out of your mind, your mouth, must be based on 2 very important things. What you know and how you think. Otherwise, it's rubbish you'll be talking about. Or your behavior will be like that, Boko Haram and the rest. That's what will be coming out of your head. So our people are not properly being educated. We are farmers. We are fishermen. But we waste the food that what prevents the government looking at, for example, adding value to our products? You can see even at the national level, we have crude, but we have to take it out, load it on board ships, pay for transportation, pay for loading, plus the corrupt things around all that. Take the thing out, we pay the refinery there to refine the same crude. Bring the crude again, we pay again. Then you are talking of subsidy. There is no subsidy. There is just corruption and inefficiency. That's what's happening. Therefore, it's never too late for us to come back and start doing the right thing. Add value to whatever you are producing, and then you get more than 10 times the revenue, and therefore your people will be in employment. There will be no Boko Haram. Everybody will be too busy to think about it. If you try rubbish, everybody is comfortable. Not that one politician will come and give you 10,000, then you start going to kill people and all this rubbish. Nobody will have time for that, because everybody will have what he's doing to take care of his time. Now, politics. Are we really, in most cases, getting it right when it comes to election? Intra squabbles within the political party itself. Look at your type of primaries. Are you doing it in such a way that you allow the people to take the person that they have interest in, or you teleguide them until they drop their votes, either with money or for coercion, or you even carry the ballot box and do whatever you like? These are the things happening if we don't want to deceive ourselves. These are the things happening. In other words, politically, we are not even right. And when the Oyibo left us, they said, okay, you can take care of yourself, but they took away the economy. Oh yes, that's why they make sure that they only taught you how to retail. You just farm, you carry your crude, look at all the things, gold, all sorts of things we have, solid minerals all over the place. Why have we not invited those people to bring the technology and we set up things here? All right? Set up the machineries here and all that we produce, we still sell to them. They can come. And then, meanwhile, you are making experts out of our people. You are making them think on how to innovate. If you don't have initiative, how will you be able to innovate? Nobody taught you that one. They just taught you how to be. That's what they call parotis humanis. You just talk like a parrot. You don't know anything. You can't. It's what you mention to a parrot that he knows. Yeah, parrots do mimic people. You know, anything that you did not mention before, a parrot will not know it. That's the kind of education we're having. But the type of education that we need, one that will be able to have initiative and innovate. And then we'll be talking about developmental economy. But today, we have gone beyond developmental economy. What economy, if you ask me? Knowledge economy. That's where we are now. Because it's all-encompassing. Coming back to our Niger State, because what I'm telling you now is applicable to everywhere, including our Niger State. Now we have gathered enough of not properly educated population, and therefore you can go there and tell anybody any rubbish to somebody who cannot find money to feed his family, to do that. Look at young people, some of them can't even marry because they cannot feed their wives, or they look at it that if I should go and marry now, how am I going to take care of this and that? For those who think, some just, he will not just marry one, he will marry four, and he doesn't have any work. So they will continue to give birth to children that they cannot look after. And therefore, these children are a pool, very cheap pool, to recruit violence. And then, what is the result? We start forming, overburdening our armed forces to go and be doing internal security. The armed forces already has a problem of to maintain our territorial integrity. But now we have overburdened the armed forces with the police. Have you not seen our armed forces going outside Nigeria and performing fantastically well, even coming with laurels, medals and all that? Have we not seen our policemen going out to United Nations job, ECOWAS job and all that, and coming back with flying colors? Such countries even want to acquire our members. But here, Because the economy is not based on knowledge. You cannot sit down on your own now and look at some kind of software thinking and put it into hardware. Because the education is not there. And the person who is in charge of you is only interested in popularizing himself. And you are a human being. Kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut. If you say it's money, okay, fine. Al-malu yanfa'u fi dunya hakikatu. If you say it's wealth, it's fine, it's beautiful, but only in this world. Ama al-ilmu yanfa'u fi dunya wal akhirati. Knowledge is important here and where? In the hereafter. Ama at the end of it, both the knowledge and this thing. After you have packed all the women in this world, you say they are your wives. You have 50 girlfriends, you alone, with big cars, rubbish. If you die, will you go with any of them? That's where you now say, Yo malikiyamati, la malun, wala waladun, wala abuka, wala ummi, wala nasabu. Yo malikiyamati, ato kagan ranan tashin kiyama, la malu, ba dukiya, wala waladun, ba da, wala abuka, ba ubanka, wala nasabu, ba tarun dangi. Sai kai da alkafaninka a cikin rami ko alkafanin ma su the ants will eat up everything. You become what? Dust. So we need to talk to ourselves and our leaders to please stop being greedy, stop being selfish. That's what is happening in that our area. Even one traditional enclave will be subduing another one. Is that development? Are we going to develop? Let us spend money, the budget on education, especially in this our own type of Niger State, Kogi State, and all this. 50% of our budget should be on education, because the returns we are going to get will be geometrical, and we recover it. Within 10 years, there will be a different society. Because you don't go to I went to my secondary school here in Lokoja. I left that school in 1971. The building has remained the way it has. The building, no toilet. I had to quickly do 13 toilets for them, and then put toilets in coppers, because those coppers for me were even the people, the resource persons that you can hold. The teachers are busy going to sell things and bags and all the rest rubbish. Now that we're in the area, in the realm of science and technology, no lab. What type of leaders are you bringing? You have to spend money. Like we went the other day, you remember, in Kabawa, that science school. That small, that lab, the Lokoja, what do you call that society? Donko's development. You know, very cute lab. Chemistry, physics, and now they have technical what and all that, biology, basic mathematics. And even this grammar, we are speaking English, you have those ones. A child should grow up with the things solid. And if he is going to come with literature and all that, those who want to become lawyers and all that, solid. Not the one that will be learning absent-minded. That's what they are doing there. There are no schools. If you think I'm lying, start from Muye here and start going. Look at the schools. Look at the place they went to park children. I saw the thing on television. I felt like crying. Very dilapidated buildings, everything out of point. No, so does it mean they don't budget for education? You think you are rich. Now, can you sleep with your 2 eyes closed? No. Can you sleep with your 2 eyes closed? You are sleeping like this, you just hear something, baby is one thing that fell off, say, you think somebody is coming to catch you. That does not mean there is no security. It's consequentials of lack of security. You don't just call security baga like that. Security is what you don't have at all. And that is what I defined it, and in my own opinion. And like I was telling you, that we should stop writing research papers and end up a recommendation. I already told you about that. Whatever we are saying is applicable to Niger State or Kogi State or to everywhere. It's the same problem that we're all carrying, even in some third world nations that are just doing rubbish. Now, don't end up research papers, maybe on policy, on development or whatever. Don't end them with recommendation. Like we started doing in the National Institute for Policy and Statistics, where I finished from. You see, we said that after you have written your papers, then when you have named like 10 items in the recommendation, you now go back and put another heading called implementation strategy. That is the way, that was the way we came, and the college accepted it, and I don't know how far it's been applied in policy making in our governance, but that is what it is. You know, you have recommendation strategy. Under recommendation strategy, you have plan, then you have action, then you have fund, because that's always the crux of the matter. So that whoever decides to, the way it's arranged, they know you are the one that stole this thing, because you'll be tied to one action, and you'll be funded, where you will get the money, how you will spend it, and all that, by name. So you plan, how long will this project take? How long will this take? Do you still need research input? Do you do under plan? You come down, action. Who are those going to be involved? How long will that project last? Is it working? Like you have something like that looks like oversight inputs. Then down, funding. Where is the money coming from? Doesn't matter nowadays. Budget is just like one foolish ceremony. Somebody is interested, there is a budget and all that. A budget that is not implemented shows that there is no development. Because you won't take care of all those things that you have mentioned, either through corruption or laziness or, how do I put it? If, for example, you say, oh, you were given an envelope. In other words, you asked for 100 billion, and then you were given 50 billion. Then you come back, call the committee on budgeting back, and then take the headings and start applying. So instead of a job to take 5 years, maybe you take 8 years. But at least something will be added. Not that because they gave you 50%, then you start say, they didn't give us what we wanted. Then you start buying furniture. Start going abroad. Start doing, is that what? And all these ones add to what the meaning of development is. So you can see our people in Niger State. Can you really say, we will say, okay, for example, how will we grow the next 20 years by way of education, agriculture, transportation, roads, and all that. It's not they are not doing that, but they are not meeting up. Schools should be built like modern schools. I took my son to Bayes University. I'm paying through my nose, but I'm happy with within less than a year. The way he's even talking to me, I'm impressed, notwithstanding the money that I don't really have, but I'm spending, because I want him to be a better. Then why can't we make our public schools as nice as that? If I can afford to take my child to Bayes University, can you afford it? And these children are coming back to the same society. Let me tell you something about Oshomole. That's why at times I like him. I was chairman of an occasion in Benin. I was still in service. I went to Benin to chair something to do with the service and all that. And he was a resource person. And he came and was talking about our problems in Nigeria, particularly education. Now he said there are two types of ways of imparting education in Nigeria. And he illustrated it by the type of two types of schools. He said one type of school in Nigeria, you don't need a gate. There's no gate to the school. The school is just open ground. Open ground. Are you with me? Open ground. You just enter. And when you get to your class block, like this, my school here I was talking to, is recently the old boys are trying to even put windows. So this whole school, the school is already is full because the number of students in the class outnumber the space. Or what is internationally agreed as the number that should be in a classroom. So you just enter through the window. You just enter window because you can't go through the door. The whole place is blocked. And most of the students in the classrooms, go to anywhere, I've visited schools, polytechnics and all that, go, you see maybe 500 in a class that you take only 30 or 50. Now you cannot go through the classroom quoting him through the door. So if you like, you go through the window, or you even sit on the window, this thing there, and be listening to lecture. That is if you can even hear the man. You are not even seeing what is writing on the board. That's one type of education. Then the other one, the child goes to a place air conditioned. The rooms are air conditioned. Even their hostels, their classrooms are air conditioned. Do you understand? So he's learning, and there are no more than 30, 35, 40 in a classroom. You have your seat. You sit on your seat. You bring out your laptop where necessary and all that. You learn. Now these two people have graduated. Now we're in the same market because there is no market for the person who came from a good school or modernized school and the person from my type of school that I attended. Do you understand? Now both of you are now in the same economy. Then this guy who went to school and with connection, he's working, bank manager, this and that, politician, menini. Then what is the repercussion? You are now lying down in your comfortable master bedroom with your doors locked to on your comfortable bed, air conditioned, everything. You are now relaxed. Maybe with your wife. You are enjoying yourself. Then you just come and hear one tap on your head. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, wake up. Then you open your eyes. What? The first thing that will come out of your mouth. How did you get in here? You are asking him. That's how you trained him. Right from school, he was not going through doors. You could enter your house through the ceiling. He doesn't need your door because you've trained him to be going through fence, the scaling fence, whilst he was in secondary school and everywhere, even this university, or some of them, anyhow, you know. So you are asking him, because that's what will come out of your face when somebody is tapping using pistol to scratch your chin. You open your eyes, say, how did you get in here? You say, Oga, that's not what I have come for, money. Or somebody gave you money to come and kill you. You are asking him, how did he come in? Is that not the way you brought him up? Yeah. We already gave definition of security and the rest of them. Our budgeting should be implementable and should be implemented. Because that is what is development. Budgeting is the blocks you use in achieving development. And knowledge is the way you will scientifically do it. Right? So, if you are not doing budgeting, if you are stealing, you are corrupt, you are not fair, how can you have peace? You can't have peace. Because the moment you are not implementing your budget correctly, if you are just doing budget just to make the money available, then you breach procurement procedure. How contracts are awarded and all that, you go and abridge it to satisfy your very corrupt tendency. Then tell me, you can never have peace because there will be no security. And so it is applicable to the world, fairness in trade amongst nations. Now we have this pandemic. It started from China, they said, but has it not gone around the whole world? Lack of security in one country is the lack of security worldwide. Pandemic in the US is pandemic worldwide. That's why we have to, it's not about competition. Even in your home, when you see brothers and sisters and family, they are competing within themselves, they will never make progress. What do they need? Cooperation. So the key word here is world cooperation. We have United Nations, we have OAU. We should not go there to show how important we are, because even a small country will mess you up. Look at Iran bombing where Americans are settled in Iraq. But there are so many reasons why you cannot just go and pick them out. What I mean, just kill them. They too have, they will start attacking your interests all over the world. So you can see the chain. You cannot, there must be no break, there will be no break in transmission of fairness, justice, and all that. Do unto others, even bigger countries to do to the smaller countries what they wish the smaller countries to do unto them.
Okay.
I'm the Ochara Ndi Igbo of Alayabiagba land in Lagos. All those Igbo people around the Sunrise, and all of them my friend, because I'm some kind of somebody who is enterprising. I can sell cars, I can follow trailer, I can do anything that will bring money because I don't know how to steal. Never. I will never touch 1 naira that does not, because my father said, don't touch other people's things and don't struggle other people's opportunity. Just face your own. God Almighty will be with you. So I had those titles based on my, or if you go into the Navy, some people call me Gaddafi. You should, when you are given something to do it well. Don't steal. Don't go and be taking, what do they call all those things, cocaine, or even the very crude type, they go and sniff toilets, smoke all sorts of things, cultism, all those things. We didn't know all these things. Even at my age, and the way I grew up to the rank of a general in the military, I didn't know much about, apart from the dictionary meaning, until I'm seeing even familiar young men, you know, they say they are cultists. Meaning what? Meaning what? Would that bring development? You are even destroying yourself as an individual. So what I now appeal to children is, they should fear God. They should obey the law of the land and respect your leaders. Don't go, even then I'm telling you, corruption and all that, don't go to a governor and start insulting him. What I'm saying in effect is, as young persons, make sure you go to school. Islamic and Western. Make sure you obey your parents. Make sure that you are fair to everybody, including your friends. As you grow up, build capacity, be competent, and have character. Growing up, I want to caption this thing in a way that what you are today has nothing to do with how you are going to be in the future, apart from the way you are. Just like I told you, build capacity, be knowledgeable, that's competency, and then have character. You know, here in the UAC, here, we're the ones carrying loads, alaru now, fishing and all that, and we're taking care of ourselves because our parents were not like very, very, very rich. So we're taking care of ourselves. And we have to do, not a young man today, once he's growing, he's not even up to 30 years, he wants to have a private aircraft, a private jet, all those type of things. They will fade off. Just give them time. Sooner than later, you will not hear about them again. So let your growth be based on solid foundation. Don't look at yourself. Now look, I used to carry kerosene on my... I became bald even before I went to NGA because I was carrying cement and all this salt and everything. The thing is not my age that made me bald. In the first place, I was already bald before I even became a Navy lieutenant. I was already bald, even maybe as a cadet self, because my head was carrying all sorts of dandako. When ships came from the south, we were the ones that would go there, offload, put load coal and all these things. So we're very busy. But today you see a young man, he's ashamed to do that because his girlfriend will see him. What is my business with girlfriend? I didn't even know what they call girlfriend until I went to NGA. So even from NGA, I didn't have time. Me, I came from a Quranic school. So I didn't know all this rubbish. And it helped me, even though you became something else later. But within you, you have that control knob that as you grow, you now say, I've reached one age that I should not be doing this and doing that. But if you didn't know it ab initio, you will not be able to apply it. Now I do things that will benefit people. As a retired general, I'd like to get involved in things that will benefit people, that will benefit me too, and things that will bring peace. And I expect that young people today should live the way of cultism, they should live the way of banditry, they should live the way of any evil, all these consuming dangerous drugs and all that. And they will have, there is big time, there is serious project for them at my age. When you are now 60, 70, then you lived a very horrible life. You better die because you are going to face serious problem in your old age because you need drugs. And our children, our grandchildren today, they don't get matured, economically matured in time. So you are still going to be involved in taking care of them. And if you live the useless life without investment, I'm not saying everybody had the opportunity, but even your common sense, your good life will make sure that your children will grow to become reasonable people that will look after you, or you look after yourself. Angry. How do I put it? All human beings get angry, but you don't get angry like a beast. No. You must have controlled temper. All human beings, even the most saint of us, sometimes they get a little disturbed for one reason or the other. That is even that type of conflict within yourself as a person. But all those things you heard Gaddafi, those ones were when we were young officers, and you sent us like, I was in charge of, I was a commanding officer at one time on ships where we go to all these economic saboteurs. And I don't negotiate with anybody, whether you are oil bunker or anything, because I don't need your money. I just want to do my job. And so When I arrest you until I take you to the GOC, I'm not going to negotiate anything with you. So they start calling me Gaddafi, this man doesn't, this, it's Gaddafi that is at sea. Even the Cameroonians will not like to go to sea to do bad things because they say Gaddafi. I got it from another country, not from Nigeria. That man, once he's on duty, he is not going to tolerate this and that. Of course, as a child, I saw myself walked to even help my grandparents. So that seriousness is there. But firmness at times is taken for wickedness, for those who are not disciplined. When we were growing in the service and I encounter problems with my senior, once you are my senior, even by one day, I don't look into your eyes. Say whatever you say, I say, sorry, sir. Thank you, sir. That's all. I don't argue with anybody, but you are my junior for 1 hour. You mess up, I'll deal with you until I put you in your right place. That's it. You have to have a way. Don't worry. When you are firm, what are they talking? Is Buhari a chief? But this one say Buhari is wicked. Buhari is that. Buhari doesn't want to steal. And that's why he's even surviving. Because he is not taking part in this jamboree of robbery all over the place. He's not. That's why they cannot bring him down. By now, he would have been in EFCC himself or preparing to go to EFCC after he has said it. You wait for me. When I finish, you can take me to EFCC. But he now said, you will not be able to take me because I will not do anything that will take me to EFCC. You do in life, let there be moderation. That's one. And don't think that you are everything, because you are nothing. Maybe you are a human being. You are actually nothing. Everything is vanity. And for God's sake, you be fair to your peers. Be fair. That doesn't mean that you should be stupid. That somebody wants to put his hands into your eyes and you just leave it. You go blind. Because after blinding this left eye, you will go to the right one and do it. And you are not Jesus Christ. Do you understand what I'm saying? So be very careful the way you deal with people and even yourself. And like you have said, some of us went through, you know, as you are interviewing me now, you are not interviewing me as somebody that was giving birth to with a platter of gold. So my life is different from somebody who was given birth to by a minister or a general, so to say, because what my children are enjoying now, I did not enjoy those kind of things. I did not go to a private school. I did not go to a private university. I went to secondary school, primary school, all public. Then from there, I jumped to NGA. So my example is different from the son of Senate president or minister of one thing or the other. Especially the way we do our things in the third world, where you acquire wealth as a result of the position you are holding. Right? So what I'm saying is, in effect, is, for me, I really went through my father was not that poor. But I had to do certain things to, you know, mentoring. I look at people that, you know, my late uncle, who was Makama of Lokoja, and he was Makama of Lokoja. I looked onto such persons. And I saw that the only thing, apart from character, education. So I said, okay, I must be as educated as these people, so that I will reach that kind of place, and I must behave well the way they behaved. Those are what I can see. But the issue of suffering, if I start telling you how I suffered, you will start crying for me. But to suffer and later enjoy is better than to enjoy and come and suffer later. That is the point. Because, as you know, now they took light. I say, well, please, is the solar working? Go and put on the generator. If you enjoyed all that before, and you are now into poverty, it's like going for fire to, how do they call it? From fry pan into fire. Because now, you enjoyed before, now NEPA has taken light, and there is heat. and you cannot tell anybody. You can't even pay electricity bill because you don't have money again. You don't have the resources. So it's worse. And why are all of us praying to go to paradise, Jannah? Because we were told we will enjoy there. Because we are people of faith and we believe. But you don't want to go from this our world and go and enter fire. And that one you will be in fire forever. It's not temporary, it's permanent. So what I'm saying is just work hard. Example of one person may not fit into your own type of life. But what is important is that educate yourself, avoid all these vices, and always grow. I'm a pensioner for 14 years, 13, 14 years now. I've been retired. And I'm still doing business because I'm no more in the service. I'm doing business. You're not in my hotel now. Doing business. And I do other things that will bring something. Because my pension is enough, and I thank Buhari 14 years since I retired. They are now owing me 1 hour's pension. So I'm comfortable as far as the money they are giving to me. But I need money as Makama of Lokoja, as Dokoji of Muye, as Baba Adini, to help those people that will need help. That's what I need money for now. Philanthropy. I don't need money for myself. Because I don't go out, I don't go to disco, sometimes I'm in my room for 1 week. But when I come out, I just go and be taking care of people, so that not just giving them money. We have children that will all be, hey, Makama, this and that, all those cantonment, this thing. I say, okay, do you go to school? You say, no, I don't have school fees. I have so many of them now. If there are not many, there are more than 20-something that we are paying their school fees. And I'm happy to tell you that some of them are even in the Defense Academy now. So some of them are in the universities. Some of them don't even come back to you to ask anything because you have shown them a different way from the cheap way to make money. Don't you love security? The reason you have good life is if there is security. If there is security, everybody will move freely. And not the meaning of how to bring about what we see now is consequences of lack of security. Then you now call it security. Consequences of lack of security, you now call it security. No. Let the economy grow. Let everybody be engaged in productive activities. Nobody will have the time to go and be doing talk to become a talk. There are talks now that they will go and help somebody to kill someone, do all sorts of rubbish. Just for what? For what? Just engage yourself in activities that will make you productive. And by that way, you'll be too busy to go and be thinking whether you want to become Boko Haram or a bandit. You'll be ashamed to even behave in that manner. And when you talk about what you or people call security, soldiers all over the place, yes, fine. At least you can see physically they are protecting you. But that is not security. Because even the son of a general can become a problem as far as security is concerned. If the real meaning of security is the general going to live forever, is the president going to be alive, the governor, one time. The ministers we used to know in those days in this our area, they are not there now, and I can see their grandchildren are not as good as you even see some of them are just not doing well. Because the real meaning of security was not adhered to all along. It's not this government that we are in now that are causing insecurity in Nigeria. It's been there. And the cancer is all about corruption, nepotism, injustice, all those things. I mentioned something about mentoring. And I cannot mention just one person. Because as I was growing, they were also growing. They were retiring. And then I was looking for the next person that will mentor, that will be my mentor. And then, you know, so Admiral Seidu, one of the naval chiefs. As I was growing, I had the opportunity of working with him. And to be specific, one time you say very neat. He was very neat, very articulate. And I wanted to be like him. And you saw him in his Admiral or Navy Commodore's uniform, very looking gorgeous. I wanted to be like that. But you see, I was doing certain things that would not take me there. And he was correcting me. One of them was, I used to starch my white uniform. And you know, when you starch a white uniform, when you sweat around your armpits, you have some nasty appearance. And he called me one day, say, you are the only officer. Come here, my friend. You are the only officer that will put starch in this uniform. You don't put starch in your uniform. I say, thank you very much, sir. And I stopped it. Then I was growing one mustache here. Abi, what do you call this thing? Gashimbakiba. Not like Hitler one. No. The one I was growing was like Hitler or Mongo Park or Lord Lugard. Just here like this. Then, and you know me, I have one type of hair like that. It is something. So that one will just grow like this. Then I was looking. So one day he just called me. He said, come here. My friend, what type of this thing is this? Why you, what's this? Go and shave it and bring it, let me see. Go and shave, put the hair, go and show him. Say, yes, very good. The next thing he appointed me to start working with him. So I worked with him for almost 10 to 15 years. One way or the other, he would bring me, because I was just trying to copy him, and he liked it. He corrected me, and I was able to how do I put it? I was not impervious to corrections, if you like to put it that way. Then Admiral Kanu, that man was very intelligent. He just died. He's not even been buried. He was governor of Lagos State. Man, that guy was highly professional. So I used to like him, and he used to put, that I should have mentioned this to you when I was talking to you, that he used to put one caption in front of his office, anywhere, wherever he was transferred to, you would just see it there. What is written on that? And that entered my head. So I said, work hard. And work really hard, but have the patience to wait. Work hard, work really hard, but have the patience. In other words, work hard, but have the patience to wait for the fruits. What we see now, you just work, the next thing, you are out of university, you want to drive an aeroplane. That's what's happening now. But in his own case, they work hard, but be patient to wait for the results. Good result, of course. I liked him, I loved him. And I was staff officer under him also. Then, Nyaku, Admiral Nyaku. You know, Nyaku was also a service chief. I really enjoyed working with him because he was a combatant. And you really follow him militarily, you will do well in the military.